Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us here at 6 as we continue to track Ian. I'm Fred Shropshire. Ian made landfall between Charleston and Myrtle Beach about 4 hours ago. The storm was a Category 1 hurricane with winds around 85 miles per hour when it landed. Right now, the storm's eye is along the North Carolina-South Carolina state line, moving inland. And we are helping you stay weather aware today. Here's a live look at Southport, North Carolina. You see the waves crashing and the high winds on the coast there. Let's go ahead and bring in Brad Panovich, our chief meteorologist. Brad, you've been tracking this, and we've got maybe a couple more hours, you say, of what could be the worst for us in the Charlotte area.
Yeah, after 9-10 p.m., things should improve pretty rapidly, especially in the Charlotte area and places on the Piedmont, but in the mountains and foothills might linger for a little bit longer. It's no longer a tropical system. It's actually a nor'easter. It's moving north at 15, but look at the winds, still producing some 70-mile-an-hour winds as it moves north. You can see the track of the remnant low is going to be up into Virginia through tomorrow. It will continue to weaken pretty quickly, but it is still producing some strong winds. In fact, just within the last hour, we've had the strongest wind gusts all day in Charlotte at 46 miles per hour. So that's kind of what we expected, 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts, and we're right there in the middle. You can see those peak wind gusts today. Other locations in the mid to upper 40s, a lot of 30s, lower winds back to the west. We have seen some heavy rain. Providence Park, Mint Hill over 2 inches, Matthews approaching 2 inches, University City and Sugar Creek. So we're getting close to the 2-inch mark in many locations. Probably going to add another ½ an inch to inch depending on where this heavy rain band pivots through. I think it will rotate through again because as the low moves north, this is going to get tugged with it and probably move back through in the next couple of hours. So this is why the worst weather is really right now with the strongest winds and heaviest rain that will be sticking around for a couple more hours. Now, there was beneficial rain for a lot of us, but did cause some flash flooding. So through about 9-10 o'clock, probably the worst of it, and then slowly improving as we go into the morning hours tomorrow. In fact, we might see the sun try to sneak out tomorrow, but for sure on Sunday. Coming up, I'm going to talk about the improving weather for the upcoming weekend and when we'll get a chance to dry out as we look ahead to the extended forecast.
All right, we'll check back in a bit. Thank you, Brad. Let's turn now to South Carolina, where the storm is now, the coast got hit pretty hard earlier today. Our Vanessa Rufus joins us now in Charleston, where the worst seems to have passed. Vanessa?
Yeah, that's right, Fred. You know, we probably got the worst conditions, I would say, around midday. And at this point, it's just breezy. We've been having some light sprinkles at this point, and it really is at this point the time to survey the damage. We're actually over here at Battery Park, and if you take a look around on the ground, you see a lot of green. Not all of that is grass. We are seeing a whole lot of limbs down, a lot of leaves down, and it's kind of the picture that we're seeing as we travel around the downtown Charleston area. Any tree-lined portions of the roadway, we are seeing branches like these that have fallen. Obviously nothing super critical, but going to be a big pain to clean all of that up. Now, we did see something a bit more substantial as far as the damage goes. I want to show you some video that we encountered just a couple of blocks to the north of us over at King and Beauframe. And it's actually a construction facade, if you will, for a storefront that blew over. And workers were already out there by the time we got there, kind of trying to disassemble it, clean it up. They made some pretty quick work of it. But yeah, it was a pretty big mess when we first rolled up on that scene. Now, we did talk to some homeowners throughout the area, including here along Battery, and we spoke to a man who's actually, we kind of called it a trial by fire, right? He had just moved into the neighborhood. He hadn't experienced a hurricane here yet in this new home, and this is a pretty well-known street to flood, according to locals. Here's what he had to say about the experience after getting some sandbags and a sump pump for his home.
We were nervous yesterday with it striking at high tide and directly, but overnight moved a bit north, so we're a little less nervous today, but still we moved in pretty recently, so wanted to see what the dynamics were on the street. Got some water, but nowhere near the house.
So yeah, there you hear it. He's a little bit more comfortable now with his neighborhood, knowing kind of the ins and outs of what it does during severe weather. And you can see too, a pretty clear roadway at this point. So this is Battery, and we showed you, I'd say about a half hour ago, a lot of standing water in pockets around. I would say those are pretty much all gone at this point. Now, the city of Charleston is still reporting about I'd say 60 or so road closures due to flooding. I think that's going to start to come down slowly but surely. As a former traffic reporter, I know sometimes it takes police officers or other folks to travel around the roadways and then report back, say, hey, this road's clear before it gets off the list. So I suspect once again that list will start to dwindle. For now, reporting live in Charleston, Vanessa Rufus, WCNC Charlotte.
All right, that's the good news for people there in Charleston. Thank you, Vanessa. You know, we've seen a lot of trees down, some of them across roads, homes. Down trees causing power outages across our area as well. And right now, thousands are without power in the Carolinas. Thousands here in Charlotte. Officials have said Charlotte Motor Speedway will remain open for those who need to seek refuge from the storm. WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker joins us now with a local outage out there. Austin, that tree, that is a bad sight when you see it across power lines like that.
Yeah, Fred, this is not the best sight you can actually see right now. Obviously, let's take a look at this. You can see a big tree has fallen from someone's home across the road, knocking down this power line. This entire area, they say, is pretty much out of power right now. Now, this is the sight we're seeing for a lot of places around the Charlotte area. Duke Energy telling us we're seeing thousands of individuals in sites without power because of these down lines we're seeing. You can see this tree is flat over someone's car right here. The homeowners said they're actually making the best out of this and laughing it off, even though they said they bought the car last week, which is not the best sight, but again, things they said could be worse, it could have been more dangerous. So we did talk to the individuals on the street who tell us that when they heard that noise, they thought it was just lightning. They didn't know what exactly it was, and then they saw this big tree with these power lines. But again, we are seeing this across the area. Duke Energy saying that tomorrow they're going to have about 10,000 people coming out to surveying the damage, getting that power back on. They say right now they have crews out working, but again, we are seeing this wind and this rain continue to whip across the area. So they're actually trying to pull those crews out right now because of how dangerous it is getting. Now, if you do have a power outage, they said they're going to get to you as soon as possible. But again, a lot of people in this area and across the region are having the same issue, so they'll make sure to get to you as soon as possible. We have some information on our website about what you can text. You can text out to 57081. That is out to 57081 if you have a power outage. So again, they're going to try to get to you as soon as possible. But again, a lot of people are going to be going through this right now. Fred?
All right, Austin Walker reporting live for us. Thank you for that.